So today's project is potato towers, a really efficient and economical method of farming potatoes. It's also very convenient, and what you're going to need for this project is some hay, some compost, some dirt, a sturdy post, some like baling wire, a section of screen like this about 5 to 6 feet in length and 4 foot width, and like this level of mesh. It's pretty good, although you want it to be a consistent mesh instead of this sort of like diminishing mesh. And the last ingredient is some good starter potatoes with eyes. They can be pieces like this. So the first step is making the cylinder, and now yours can have a greater or lesser diameter than this. It's really up to your personal preference how much work you want to put into it, how much potatoes you want, but I think this is a pretty good diameter. And so you take your screen or your fencing and you take the edges and the loose edges and you just wrap them around here to kind of sew this up. And then what you're gonna do is take your cylinder and affix it with the baling wire to this support so that it won't tip over. It's kind of important. I have kind of a unique situation here where I'm doing these in beds. If you have gophers, you're definitely going to want some kind of gopher protection. So as you can see, there's a screen down there at the bottom of the bed. And I actually dug out a section of the dirt. I'm going to push this down into that cavity. That will give it extra stability and gopher protection on the bottom. Although if you want, you could just, doing your own, you could set it on a square of screen. That would be just as effective. So that's the first step, and the next step will be in the next segment of the video. Alright, so step number 2, once you have your cage secured to the post, is creating nests, or a nest out of straw. And now, since my cage is a little bit underground, yours will look a little bit different. And basically, you just take some straw and you start to pile it in there. If you've got a bale like this, you're definitely going to want some kind of pitchfork to loosen it up. Like in this first person perspective, it's like Straw Simulator 2014. So yeah, once you got a nice little pile in there, I mean, you actually want quite a bit. Once you got a nice pile in there, you're gonna want to start to smooth it out, pack it down, and sort of build it up around the edges until you create what basically looks like a nest. Kind of like that, only a little bit deeper. I'd say about a foot. And you want the bottom to be packed firm. That's kind of an important point. Alright, so a good first nest is gonna look like this. It's about a foot deep, packed tight in the bottom, with a nice rim on there. So next what you're gonna do is take your compost. This is basically just a soil enhancer. And you're gonna wanna put a relatively substantial layer on the bottom. mean, it's easiest just to pile it in the middle. Could actually be using a shovel for this, would probably be more efficient. Anyway, you want a nice starting layer. Just smooth it around, flatten it out. And then, after you got your compost, some people just use compost, but I think for the sake of just having a more rounded soil mixture, I'm just going to add regular good soil. So it's kind of an additional layer, just about the same thickness. And then more compost, so you get a nice sandwich going on. It's going to provide optimal nutrition for the potatoes. So and the nice thing about this is you really only need to see it once, because essentially you're just stacking several layers that are an exact duplicate of this first layer on top of each other to create a nice tower, which is ideal for several reasons. Potatoes needing a lot of water, you water on the top, it propagates throughout the entire tower. As you can see, you're adding quite a bit of dirt. You really want to fill up the nest. Alright, and the final, well, second to the final step is getting your potatoes and positioning them properly in the nest. You want to put them just a few inches from the outside, like that, with the eyes sticking outwards so they can respond to the radiation of the sun and grow outward. Put them a few inches apart. Just keep stacking them in there on the outside. Alright, and the last step here is just to put a light layer of compost over the tops of the potatoes. Now, this is something that I discovered just through experimentation. Normally you're just supposed to water them like this, put the water right on there, but I found that if you put a layer of straw on top first, just a light layer, it's gonna deflect a lot of the impact of the water so that you get a more even watering. Plus you're gonna have to put straw down anyway for the next layer, so at this point you would just pour a light amount of water on top of that straw, and then you're basically ready to start on your next layer doing exactly the same thing. And at the end of the layering, you're gonna have a tower like this, and your potatoes are gonna grow out of the sides, and then when you're ready to harvest, you just knock over the tower and take out your potatoes. It's a very elegant method for farming potatoes. So thanks for watching. There you have it. An hour and 40 minutes approximately since the beginning of the setup. 5 alternating layers of straw, soil, compost, and potatoes. Now for the final step, the christening. So this is just a gallon or so of water I'm gonna pour over the top of this. The beauty of this system is that the water's gonna flow all the way down through all the layers. Yep. Oh yeah, I'm still not signed up to Google Plus, and I still refuse to do so, but I'm going to enable comments on this video. Anyway, so yep, thanks again, and good luck with your own potato towers.